All right, so we're still doing 8.1, and we are continuing, what are these things called? Imaginary numbers, complex numbers. That thing, that's complex numbers. All right, so now, let's say you paid attention when I was showing you the calculator a little bit earlier, right? You think I could do that first one in the calculator?
Yeah.
Yes, I can.
Wait.
Yeah.
I can't see nothing.
When it come out, like I-47 or not, I-7.
So wouldn't this be the same?
Wouldn't that just be I-7 squared?
No, it's just 7.
Watch. Okay, right here.
I-7.
Didn't this be the same as saying negative, square root of negative 7 squared?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Would
So
it just be I-7?
No, it's just negative 7. The square root cancels.
But you need the I.
No.
No, we don't.
It's going to be this negative sign.
What?
Now, I'll show you the reason behind it right now. I'm going to show you the whole reason behind it. So if we were to factor this out, okay, if I were to factor this out and actually break it down to the smallest components possible, so this would come out to be, so it's going to be right here, I have rad negative 1 times rad 7 times rad negative 1 times rad 7. I have square root of negative 1 times square root of negative 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to give me what?
1.
That's negative 1, because isn't this I and I, right? I, yes? I times I, right? Times, this together is going to be rad 49, right?
Yeah.
Which is just 7.
This piece is 7 right here, right? We're okay with that, right? What would I give for this? I squared, right?
Yes.
I squared. So if it's going to be I squared,
That equals negative 1.
that's going to give me a negative 1. Because right here, for these pieces right here, these two, this is going to be the square root of negative 1 squared. What's going to happen to that negative, or I'm sorry, the radical when I square it?
It cancels out.
It canceled. So the square will cancel the radical.
So you're just left.
So you're left with negative 1. So I squared is going to give me just negative 1. The I goes away. No?
No.
Yes.
No?
Yes.
Why no?
Yes.
See.
They're saying yes, so apparently yes.
No, yes, it is true, but I'm asking you why no.
I don't know. I don't get it.
Oh, because
I can't
wait.
explain why I don't understand it.
Okay, so are you okay with I times I?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I'm talking about the whole thing. I'm looking at the whole thing and I don't know what you're doing.
Listen.
Oh, okay, so let's just look at this. Do you understand?
No, just keep going. Just don't go backwards. Just keep going.
Do you understand? This undoes the square.
But you just got rid of the negative now.
I'm dealing it with two separate pieces right now. I didn't get rid of it. I'm dealing with just these pieces right here.
I don't.
You take the I out first.
Okay, so the I is its own entity.
Where's the 49 at, man?
The 49's over here. Over here. So, but I'm just going back and saying, okay, this right here. Do you agree that when I square a square root, the radical goes away?
Yeah.
This just gives me 7.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do this now. All right, and the other piece would be the square root of negative 1 squared. Square root of negative 1 squared. The radical will go away, right? And so what's left over is on the inside. So in this case, what's left over is going to be a negative 1. So now if we're putting both these two things together, my answer for this and this together, because I'm doing each piece separately, so this is just going to give me, all in all, a negative 7 as my answer.
I get it. I'm so.
So, square root negative 7 over times square root negative 7 maybe a little bit better. Let's try another one. All right, so let's clean this up. I'm going to do the next one.
Wait, but if we could just put it in the calculator then.
Not all of them work. Only that one works. Isn't 49 a perfect square? Yes, that's the way that one works. This next one, do you think 6 times 10 is going to be a perfect square?
No, sir.
No, that one's not a perfect square. So now let's break it up. So this is going to be, right, I radical 6 times I radical 10, right? So first thing I did, I took out the I this time.
Why
Okay.
did you take out the I last time?
Different ways of doing it. It's the same thing. Right here I left it as radical rad negative 1.
So it's different when
It's the
it's
same
reversed.
thing. No, it's the same thing. So if you see this as an I, just leave it as an I. We don't have to write it as a square root of negative 1 every time.
No, it's optional.
So if you look at it and say, all right, it's there. Would you rather me write it as square root of negative 1?
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
It's just extra.
So now from here, I and I, right? These two together should give me I squared, right? So over here, this is I squared.
Do you have to write it as I squared or can it be?
If you want to go straight to negative 1, it's fine. Okay? But I'm trying to show all the steps on this. 6 times 10?
60.
60. Now, can we factor 60? That's going to be 6 times 10. That breaks down to 3 times 2 and 2 times 5, right? I factored it. The prime factors. So I broke it down as a factor tree this time. Last time I broke it down as, going directly sideways, but I'm breaking down each one. So the prime factors this are 3, 2, 2, and 5.
There's two twos. So
2.
combine them and then square root that and
Yeah.
then take it out.
Yeah, so that together right there is going to give me
4.
4. Square root of 4 is
2.
2. Okay? So let's still bring my I squared times radical 3 times radical 4 times radical 5. Okay, now I wrote it out sideways this time with all of our things. Now, from my previous problem, I squared is going to give me what?
Negative 1.
-1. This is going to give me a 2, right?
So you're going to have negative 2 square root of 3 times square root of 5.
Yes, now let's put those together. Since they don't factor, remember from yesterday, I put them back together. So this is going to give me
Negative 2 times the square root of negative, or
rad 15. Negative 2, rad 15. Now, I can't put this in the calculator because the calculator is going to do what?
That's me weird.
Decimal. There's a radical. It will give me the whole thing as a decimal. All right. And clean up a little work over here. Actually, let me make some more room. Negative 20 over 2. So, like this, right? Okay, so now, there's a property in math. If I have a radical on top and bottom,
then you have to get rid of the radical.
I don't have to.
It's violating 2 rules.
Okay, so now, right here, they're both radicals, so I could combine them under one radical as a fraction. Big radical, negative 20 over negative 2.
You still got a negative on the bottom.
You'll see in a second. It's a little bit less work. So, a negative divided by a negative,
Positive.
so that goes away, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that goes away, so I'm going to have
20 over 2.
20 over 2, which is just,
10.
so my answer is?
Square root of 10.
That's it.
Or would you rationalize? Break it down.
Okay, if I were to break it down with i's instead, let's see how that works out. This is going to be, on top, it's going to be, let's see, that's going to give me what? So I have square root of -1 times square root of 2 times square root of 5 times square root of 2, right? 2 times 10. Yeah, there we go. All over square root.
And this is if we did it how you told me.
This is a different way. This is a different way. This is actually -1 times. Okay, as a fraction, what's going to happen to these thingies right here?
Are you guys raising money for?
I don't know.
For the cancer patients.
Is that a puppy?
Okay. It's a
She
puppy.
said yes for yes. You're what? A puppy?
I don't know. All right, so
Cancer puppy?
we're canceling some of these. What can I cancel?
Your ones.
Gnarly, bro.
And then it's a square root 10.
The same as this, right? A little bit more work. I'm factoring it as is and then cancel as I go.
Doesn't that help clarify it more?
Maybe.
In a way.
I'm hoping that's why I did this problem twice.
Move it on.
All right, so -48 over +24. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so let's try this again.
Put it all
One big radical, -48 over 24. Now, does 48 over 24 reduce?
Yeah.
Yes.
To what?
2 over 1.
2 over 1, right? So I'm going to come out with, after I clean this up right here, it's going to be
Yeah,
a,
24.
Square root negative 2, right?
So then it's just going to be 2i.
no.
Alright, square root of 2, but with I.
Okay, so now take out the I, right? So I take out the I, so it's going to be I,
Rad.
right 2.
That's what
I like this.
Wait, on the last one, I kind of just got lost. Did you just leave it as square root 10?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I
know
did it
you
twice.
started.
Okay, feel better about that?
Yeah. Especially there's like multiple possibilities and like ways you can do it.
Yes, multiple ways. All right, so this is example 4. I want you guys to take a look at your homework. Grab one of the questions from example 4. I don't know what question that was. Algebra. All right, so this right here, example 5. Example 5 is...
Hey, I like how we just did that.
Okay. Example 5 is, what formula does this look like?
Right?
It looks like, kind of like half the quadratic formula, right?
Yeah.
Why is it only half?
It's missing the plus or minus.
Yeah, just the plus or minus, right? And everything's inside here. So, all right, so the argument is this little thing inside there, right?
Yes.
So let's go ahead and actually break this up. So it's going to be -8 plus, now, let's take out the -1, right?
Mhm.
All right, so what else can we take out there? 128 breaks down to what?
So like it's 13.
2 times what?
64.
Hey!
64.
Why did I choose 2 and 64?
Because they were just small.
Yeah.
Nope.
Square root.
64 is a perfect square, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, if I did not see that there's a 64 there, could you have done 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, a bunch of 2's? Yes.
Yeah.
You could have. And then you could eventually break it up into pairs and be like, oh yeah, there. You'll eventually get your answer.
Yeah.
You will.
Mhm.
Okay? So you'll eventually get the same thing. So all this right here is going to be over 4. Right?
So then it's
Now, this little piece, so let's rewrite. So it's going to be negative 8 plus
No. Well, 8i.
8i. Thank you. 8i. Anything left?
Square root of 2.
Square root of 2 over.
4.
There we go.
Can you?
Now you have to
Yes.
break. Don't you have to break it down?
Yes. Now I separate it. Right?
So negative 8 over 4.
So negative 8 over 4 plus 8.
I rad 2 over 4.
And then I could reduce because this is in my A plus BI, right?
So it's gonna be
So it's gonna be negative 2.
plus 2i rad 2.
Okay.
It's not done until you circle it, right?
Yes. Sure. That's a weird circle.
Next.
Can you go back to
No,
it?
man.
This.
Thank you.
Wait, so we're not gonna go back and practice example 5?
Next one. But
it's example.
Just
Example 6. Sum or difference. What does sum mean?
Add.
add.
Difference means?
Subtract.
Okay, so let's start with the sum. Just basically combine like terms.
Where you do like the rainbows and
Nope. That's with distribution. There's a plus and minus in between here. So I'm just adding or subtracting. So I'm combining like terms. Now, my like terms are important because I have my real and non-real. So my real go together. So in this case, my real is 3 and negative 2, which is?
1.
So I get 1. And my non-real, which is negative 4 and 6.
2i.
Okay, so it's going to be plus 2i.
And that's it?
Yeah,
Oh, wow. Is that my homework?
that one's on the homework. Okay.
Okay.
Now this next one is slightly different because there's a minus in front of parentheses. So if there's a minus in front of the parentheses, what do you gotta do?
What do you mean? Oh, distribute the 6.
Distribute. So right here, this minus, I have to distribute that.
So it's gonna be negative 6 plus 7.
So now it's gonna be, I'll rewrite this, 4 plus 3i minus 6 plus 7i. Because I had to distribute to both of them there. Right?
Yeah.
Now combine my reals.
Negative 4 and negative 6.
Negative 4, negative 6, which gives me
Negative 10
negative 10. And my non-real,
plus 10i.
plus 10i. Es muy fácil.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to practice one of these, and I'm going to pick one. All right, so complex numbers. Now, this one right here is my distribution. This is my FOIL method.
I don't know how to do FOIL.
Okay, so I'm going to teach you a new way of doing it. Okay, you might like this one. First, across, inner, and last. Special method.
Fail.
Yep.
Thanks.
So let's try a fail method on this one.
Wait, it was first, across, inner, and what?
Last.
Last?
Yeah. So let's do the first. Okay, do the first. So first times first gives me
5.
multiplication.
Oh.
6. Okay. All the way across. Okay, all the way across.
8i.
Okay, so that's plus. Right?
Yes.
The inner 2.
Negative 9i.
Negative 9i.
I'm lost.
Pretty good.
Where?
On how to do first, across, center, last.
I'm still doing it.
I know. But
Okay,
I just
so
zoned out.
the first 2. First. The 2 times 3 gave me 6. All the way across. So all the way across. 2 times positive 4i, positive 8i.
I got it.
The inner 2, negative 9i, and my last 2. negative 12I squared. Now, and if I did this correctly, there we go. Is that better?
Yeah. It's
Put some glasses on it, right?
It's Pacho.
Wow. All right. I was going for a Zoe here, but no. I was thinking about trying to put like a hair bun up there, but no. Okay.
Do it.
No. It's all right. Okay, so let's go back to the math. Okay, what did we say the I squared came out to be?
-1.
-1, right? So that's going to change this one.
So would it be just positive 12?
This is going to become a positive 12, right? So let's bring this down. So I have a 6. Combine my non-real. Combine the non-real, so it's going to be negative 1I. And this becomes a positive 12, right? Because it's minus a -1, which I squared is -1. And then combine, so it's going to be 18 minus I.
And you don't have to put the 1 in front of that?
No, you don't have to put the 1 in there. Okay, now I'm going to come around and I'm going to check your guys' stuff here for this next one. So, what's this 2 right here mean?
Square.
That means there's 2 of them, right? So, when you see this, you're going to go 4 plus 3I times 4 plus 3I right here. And now, I'm going to come around and check your guys' stuff because I want to see you guys do your own smiley face. Alright, so I'm going to go over this one. So hopefully everyone's got the same answer here. So let's start off with my first. It's going to be 16. This is plus 12I plus 12I. This is going to be plus 9I squared. Alright, from here. And the I squared is going to give me a -1, right? Okay, so that's going to make that a -9, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's going to be a -9. So I have a -9 here, and I have a 16 over here, right?
Yeah.
So -9 and 16 is going to give me what? 7. Very good. And then combine like terms for my i's.
24i.
So plus 24i.
Wait. Wait, did you multiply your -1 and 9?
My -1 what?
Your
Yeah.
-1 and
So
9.
this right here. So this is going to become a -9, right?
Oh, okay.
This is -9. So when I did this, that's -9. So I combined my -9 and my 16, which gave me the 7.
Wait, here, repeat that one more time.
Okay, so I squared is what? -1, right? Yes? So I squared is -1, but it's a positive 9. So positive 9 times the -1 gave me a -9 here.
So anytime there's an I squared, we change it to -1.
It's a -1.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a -9 now. Over here, so I have a positive 16 and a -9. So together that gave me a positive 7. And then combine my 12i and 12i, which gave me my 24i. Yeah, you want to do it?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Ugh. Let's see. Now try this one. Okay, let's go back over this. Okay, so looks like almost everyone got it. So if you're still working, keep working. I'm gonna go through it right now real quick. So, okay, fail. This is gonna give me 36 across -30I inner positive 30I. My last is going to be a -25I squared. Right? All right, so this piece right here. Wow, okay. Were you not paying attention a minute ago when I actually even drew glasses on it?
I wasn't here.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I just got here.
Okay. All right. So right here, what happens to the middle terms?
They cancel.
They cancel. They go away. So that zeroes out.
Yeah.
So that's gone. And what do we say that I squared is?
-1.
Negative 1.
Negative.
So 36 plus 25.
61.
The I is gone now, right?
Yeah. Run through the 6 row.
61. 61.
Stop it.
That's it, right?
No, I'm not going to stop.
6-1.
We can plug this into our calculator?
Oh my God. Yes.
Wait, is that it?
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
For today, that's all? That's it?
No.
Oh. That's good.
Wait, I gotta try something.
Okay, so
Example 9.
Oh, never mind.
the things are actually property of complex conjugates. Now, so this is the interesting one. Okay? We've done this a long time ago with the conjugate. When we rationalize, we can't have a radical in the denominator. Isn't I the square root of -1? Yes. I is the square root of -1. So can I have a radical in the denominator? Say no.
No.
I have to rationalize.
So you can't have an I in the denominator?
You cannot, because it is the square root of -1. So you cannot have that. And what we're going to do is called a conjugate when you have more than one term. So if you have like a 5 plus I in the denominator, you're going to have a conjugate of that. And these are conjugates of each other, and I'll explain it right meow. Okay, we did this before, so it always goes by the denominator. So I'm going to multiply by the conjugate. So I'm going to multiply top and bottom by 5 plus. The conjugate is change the sign.
Wait, I'm already confused.
I'm so confused now. All these big words.
Okay. Now, let's go back. This problem right here. What happened? These are conjugates of each other. They're difference of squares. They're difference of squares. What happened to my I when I multiplied difference of squares? It went away, didn't it? My I went away because it was in the middle terms here. The middle terms will always go away in these problems. And that's what we're trying to get at. So we're getting rid of my i's. This is going to happen every time when I multiply by the conjugate. So the conjugate is right here. So we look at the bottom. That's the denominator of my fraction. This is 5 minus I. I multiply by the conjugate, which is 5 plus I. So when I do this, in the numerator, it's going to be 3 plus 2I times 5 plus I over 5 minus I times 5 plus I.
Which cancels.
Okay, it's not going to cancel. It's going to conjugate.
Well,
So I have to distribute this. I'm not going to cancel out. I have to distribute this. So let's distribute the numerator. Okay, let's distribute the numerator. I'm going to go off to the side over here. 3 plus 2I times 5 plus I. Let's distribute that. 15 plus 3I plus 10I and plus 2I squared. Okay, so this whole thing is going to give me, this is a -2 on this side, right? So it's going to be 13. So on top I should have 13.
does the 2y get squared?
Right here, the 2,
Yeah.
or it's only the I.
Never mind.
Okay, and so now plus, and on top I'm going to have 13, right? So 13 plus 13i. Over. Now let's do the same thing for the bottom. The bottom was 5 minus I, 5 plus I. So I'm going to do, I'm failing on this. So 25 plus 5i minus 5i minus I squared.
7.
This is too much.
Oh no, that's
25 minus I squared.
Okay. So all we did is we broke it up and we did it twice. So I did the numerator and denominator. So now from right here, this negative I squared is going to become
-1.
not -1, plus 1, right? Because this is already a negative, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's going to change to a plus 1. And I have a 25 over here, so that's 26. Now, what happens here?
They cancel.
Those go away. So all this is just going to be over 26 now, isn't it?
Yes.
So do I now have a radical in the denominator? No. I was able to get rid of the radical in the denominator right here. Okay, so now let's go ahead and separate it like my a plus bi says.
Sweet. 13 over 26.
Yep, 13 over 26.
Plus 13 over 26. And that 13 over 26 reduces to 1 over 2.
1 over 2, yes. This is 1/2 plus 1/2, right? 1/2 I. The I can go on the side or on top, but never in the bottom.
That's your answer, correct?
Yes. So, I think this one is... Okay. Huh?
This is a lot for one day.
You're right. Okay, you guys, what was the problem? You guys are... Hey, tell me, what was the problem?
It was
Plus what?
2i over 1 plus 2i.
Like that? Okay, the conjugate of this is going to be...
1 minus 2.
Very good. Okay, so this is going to turn out into 6 plus 2i times 1 minus 2i over 1 plus 2i. 1 minus 2i. There we go. All right. So on the top. So on the top right here. Okay, on the top I'm going to get 6 plus 2i. 1 minus 2i. Dying. All right, so right here. So this is going to become a positive 4. Positive 4 and my 6 gives me 10 minus 10i because I combine those. Okay, now let's do the other side. If I do the other side, it's going to be 1 plus 2i, 1 minus 2i. So I get 1 minus 2i plus 2i minus 4i squared. Okay, all this in the middle goes away. And this right here is going to give me a positive 4, and a positive 1 gives me a 5. And now from right there, I break it up to my 10 over 5 minus 10i over 5. 2 minus 2i as my answer.
Are you able to come tell me what I did wrong?
Yeah, I will here in a moment, okay?
a lot of us get a 3 in the bottom.
I got 3 on the bottom.
Yeah, that's why. So
where
right
did I
here,
go wrong?
so do you have minus 4i squared?
Yeah, but I changed it to plus 4.
Plus 4. What's 1 plus 4?
Where did I get 6? I did 6 plus 4.
6 plus 4 was on the top.
Oh, we're looking at the bottom?
So you said on the bottom you got...
On the bottom I got 3.
3. Okay, so you have minus 4i squared, right?
Oh, I have 2.
There we go. Okay,
Never mind.
there we go. All right, so next question was now, this is actually super easy. These questions right here, I to the 15th power.
Wait, can you just never mind. Just never mind.
Keep it back. I'm just gonna take a picture.
Okay, hold on.
I wanna just-
I to the 15th power. So, now, under pi, I caret 1/5.
I'll be done.
Wait, where'd you get that?
Pi button.
I caret 5.
Oh, okay, fine.
The little triangle thing on the left.
Yeah, that's a caret.
It gave me oh, I should.
Okay, right?
Oh.
Triangle, the overpass,
The overpass, it's a caret.
The overpass.
Okay, see the x squared thing right here?
yeah.
The one to the left of that's a caret. Little thing going up, it's called a carrot.
Carrot key.
Why?
I'm not the one to name these things.
Alright, let's move on. Let's move on.
Okay, so this is going to give me what?
Negative I.
All right, let's try that one. I to the negative 3. All right, let's see if he'll do it. So
Ah.
I caret negative 3.
It gives you I.
All right.
Wow.
Alright, we're done.
That's stupid.
Why?
We're-
Wait, where's the
So what did we come up with here? Negative 1?
Yeah. Wait.
What did we come up on that?
I.
Oh, it was just I, right?
Yeah. I'm like, where'd you get one from?
Negative
Not
I.
even negative I.
Oh, I have it.
Just put a plus.
Ah.
Alright.
There we go.
And that's
Alright,
it.
lights on. Let's work.
Okay, so let's fix it real quick then.
Oh my god.
So I want to show you guys something.
What the heck?
I to the 15th. Do you notice a pattern here?
No.
Oh,
Evens
good.
or negative? No.
It goes
Odds are positive.
Evens
Ev-
are numbers. Odds are I.
Wait,
No, it's a
what?
pattern of 4. So it actually repeats. I,
Negative.
negative 1, negative I, 1.
Bro.
And after that,
Negative. Oh.
I,
don't know.
negative 1, negative I, 1. So what do you think I to the 9th is? I. You guys see the pattern,
Negative
right?
I.
Okay.
Negative 1, negative I.
So if I were to keep the pattern up to 15, so let's see, if I do the pattern all the way up to 15, so we already at 8, right? So 9, I to the 9 is I, right? So I to the 10, negative 1, I to the 11th, negative I to the 12th,
It's I, isn't it?
okay,
Wait, no.
I to the 13th, oh wait, gosh, snap. Who was I listening to there? That's 1. Okay, I to the 13th is I to the 14th,
-1.
I to the 15th is what?
Excuse me?
What?
Negative I. Who said negative 1?
I'm writing down a notebook.
Why'd you write that down just cause?
Yeah.
There's a pattern.
I know, but just cause.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you can see this, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Just 'cause.
Yeah.
No, not just cuz. Did we get the right answer here?
Huh?
Did you get the right answer on the calculator?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, uh-oh. So, am I implying that there might be an issue with my other one?
Probably.
Maybe.
No.
Is it negative I?
Okay, so,
Can you just go back to the
watch this.
thing where
So, we say that to the 3rd power should be what?
I don't know.
Should be negative I, shouldn't it?
Yes.
Why would that be?
Remember, it goes the pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, right?
Yes, so it's negative I.
Okay, so, but what does a negative exponent mean?
Negative times a negative.
Nope, nope, nope,
positive,
nope,
then
nope,
another
nope,
negative.
nope, 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 nope,
So it's supposed to be negative.
nope. Where does it go? A negative exponent does what?
Cancels out.
Nope. It moves it to the
We don't know, so just tell us.
Left.
To the right.
Oh, right.
to the denominator.
Oh, wow.
1 over I to the
I
third.
told him just to tell us, but he didn't want to.
Oh,
And
Okay.
Is that it?
man. I'm trying to figure.
No, I'm showing you guys why. Okay. Now,
uh,
1 over I to the third, right? But I to the third is negative I, right? So that's 1 over negative I.
So what's the real answer?
Huh?
That's the real answer, right?
No, I'm almost done.
Oh my god.
Oy.
Okay, let's get it. Come on.
Okay. Can I have a radical in the denominator?
No.
I is a radical, so I have to do what?
Conjugate.
Not conjugate on this one. This one just rationalized. Conjugate has to do with 2. If I have 2, so 2 terms. Conjugate was the last one. This one only has 1 term, right?
So, I don't know what it's called. Reciprocal.
No?
No?
Rationalize.
Oh.
So if I had 1 over rad 2, you would know to rationalize that, right?
Yes, sir.
So I have 1 over negative square root of negative 1, right?
So it's 1 over 1. I mean, I over I.
Yes, I multiply by I over I, right?
Yeah.
This is going to give me
I
I over negative I squared.
Oh my god.
And what is I squared? Negative 1, so this bottom becomes a
Positive 1.
positive 1. So my answer comes out to just be,
I.
isn't that what I had up here?
Oh my goodness, really?
Pacho!
What? I had to show you guys how to do it by
I'm
hand.
screaming.
Because, yes, I just noticed that. Okay, but it's the same thing. So if you don't have the calculator, there is ways to do this by hand. Okay? Doing things with the higher exponents are kind of a pain,
Okay.
but make sure you do this here. You have a calculator that will do it for you. Okay. All right. So,
That was so painful.